This is my Featherlite Weedeater trimmer, and basically what I use it for is just to trim the edges of the grass and the weeds that come out between the pavers or garden tiles, and also around where the tiles meet the edge of the house. So I use that to clean off all the weeds that come out. This is the part where I haven't cleaned off yet, so I'll do that in. Usually before I start the trimmer, I would cut off the tip of the line. There's actually a cutter here. If the line is too long, it will make the trimmer difficult to start, and if the line is too short, then you would have to start using the bump feet right away, and it wouldn't trim well. So usually before I start, I would cut off a piece so it would start easier, and then you can start trimming right away. And I actually have started this trimmer already. I've been using it already, and basically what I do is I put it to full choke, and then you squeeze and hold the throttle, and then you pull, and then after one pull you put it in the middle, put the choke in the middle, and usually it wouldn't start on this either. Then I put it back with the choke off, and then it will start. And usually it might run a little rough in the beginning, and after 10 or 15 minutes, if it's still rough, you can adjust the idle a little bit. You see here the screw. So just run a little fast, and you can also adjust the mixture screw. So you can see the two screws here. This is the air fuel mixture, and this is the idle screw. And you can adjust this by turning it in and out. And when you turn it in for this idle screw, the fast idle, the idle speed would go up. And if your trimmer doesn't start easily, it might not have the right air fuel mixture, so you can adjust the screw, turn it all the way in, and then back it out, a turn or two, and then run it. If it runs smoothly, then fine. If not, you can turn it out, like this, counterclockwise a little more, or turn it back in until it runs very smoothly. You have to do this when the trimmer is hot, otherwise, after you have it started, it might not run the same way. So I think for mine, it's running okay. I don't think it's running great, but it's okay. It wasn't working before, and I think the problem I had was the diaphragm. inside that is not working. Rather than the carburetor not clean, it was okay in there. A lot of the kits that you buy, it doesn't come with a diaphragm. Make sure you change the diaphragm. I have it in my other video. You can look it up and see how, you know, what kind of kit comes with the diaphragm. So I'm going to start it now and finish the job that I have. It was idling a little too fast before, so I adjusted it a little bit. So here I'm trimming some of the weeds off the side of the house. If your line is short, you just bump it, and then the line comes out, and you have a longer line, and it's easier to cut. So you take the spark plug out with something like this. It's a few dollars from Sears or, you know, any hardware store. And it has two ends. If one end doesn't fit, try the other end. Usually it's not the spark plugs. They're usually pretty good, they last forever. So you look at it, it's not really that bad. It's not full of oil. If you see it's full of oil or grease, then you have a problem. And then you have to gap it. You buy something like this from an automotive store, but this looks good. The smallest gap here is 0.025, and I think the specification calls for about 0.020. So as long as you have a decent gap here, maybe like the size of a thick card, like a calling card, or a little thicker, then that's fine. This looks fine. I'm not even going to bother to clean it. If you have a little carb cleaner, okay, if you have a little carb cleaner, spray a little in there. Just be careful, because without that tube, sometimes you don't know where you're spraying that stuff, so you have to be careful. So I don't even think mine needs it. But you might want to use some emery board and clean off the oops. For me, it's about less than a quarter turn. And then push it back in and try to start it. Like I said, a lot of times it's not the compression. You need a trimmer that's been really abused to lose compression and damage the pistons and all that. Usually it's the carburetor. You need a new kit, and for me it was, like I said, the diaphragm that went bad. And unless, like I said, you abuse it, then you don't need to even clean the carburetor that much. It's just the diaphragm hardening and then not being able to pump gas. And of course the other part that goes wrong a lot on this is your primer bulb, and also of course your fuel lines. They go bad very quickly, and then it won't start. And after you get that straightened out, you just have to adjust, if you need to, adjust the idle speed and then the air fuel mixture. And there are a lot of videos on how you adjust that, so I'm not going to go into that in detail. And then after that, it should start. It can be a little frustrating in the beginning because it just won't start, and it's usually due to just one part of the unit that needs to be repaired or adjusted. So good luck and have fun with it.